Hello friends, I'm Paul Fotheringham of your Holladay City Council and candidate for Mayor of Holladay. Now I apologize in advance, this video will be about 5 minutes and we'll get into the weeds. But in this video I will outline key differences with my opponent that matter a lot. So hang in there with me and let's proceed. Throughout this campaign season, much of the campaign messaging you have heard has been about the candidate's personal stories and less so about policy. Consequently, the campaign has been fairly non-substantive thus far, with our primary distinctions being that my opponent is a medical doctor, thankfully recovering from a tragic injury, and who is new to city government, and that I am a freshly retired accounting and banking professional with 8 years' experience on the city council. Of course, with that 8 years' experience, I have a public voting record, accessible video recorded council discussions, articles written in the Holladay Journal, 8 budgets, and 8 years of meeting with, listening to, and receiving feedback from Holladay citizens, and turning that input into action, of preserving Holladay by expanding our city park acreage, extending the life of our historic city hall, and continuing to shepherd, encourage, and monitor the build-out of Holladay Hills as a future economic engine in Holladay. Though our campaigns, thus far focused on personal stories, resulted in a significant lead for me coming out of the primary, thank you very much, recently, my opponent has revealed his policy differences with me, and I'm gratified that we can add a more meaningful policy-based dimension to the campaign. So here goes. My opponent, while conceding that Holladay is a healthy and well-run city, thank you very much, his proposals would, in my view, undo many of the bonds and fabrics that hold our city together. At a recent candidate event, my opponent pointed out that 17% of Holladay citizens polled are unhappy with Holladay's direction. Of course, that same polling showed that, and basic math would confirm, that 83% feel otherwise. But my opponent's policy proposals seem to cater to the 17% without considering the negative impacts to the majority, 83%. For instance, under the intoxicating mantra of local control, my opponent would separate Holladay from our public safety partners, Unified Police Department and Unified Fire Authority, as well as separate Olympus High School and presumably the Holladay families within the Olympus school boundary from Granite School District, all while separately suggesting being able to hold the line or even reduce property taxes. Well, aside from the challenge of identifying where in Holladay to put a new Olympus School District facility, there would also be the challenge of where to set up a new fleet management facility to maintain what would become Holladay's police vehicles, fire engines, school buses, and you may as well throw in garbage collection trucks too, all while presumably lowering Holladay's property taxes, which, by the way, are already 30% below the county average. Now, I don't know about you, but as an accountant, that's some new math I don't understand. Now, as a doctor, I applaud my opponent's bedside manner for listening to the 17%. I've listened too, but with some decisions, you just can't please everyone. But if in his medical practice, his treatment regimens for patients were based only on those that satisfy the vocal outliers, well, that's a formula for medical malpractice. And given my opponent's stellar medical reputation, I'm confident he wouldn't do that, which is why I find his approach to municipal policy confounding. His policy recommendations for the city of isolating ourselves from our well-regarded public safety partners in favor of going it alone for the sole purpose of more concentrated local control, his control, including wandering into public education for whom separate elective offices are held, well, I believe his ill-informed policy proposals are not a good prescription for Holladay. Again, I'm no doctor, but I know one of their mottos is, first, do no harm. On October 14th, when your ballot is mailed to you, I ask you first to do no harm and avoid voting for my opponent's proposals. But second, vote for Paul Fotheringham and my vision for preserving Holladay by strengthening our valued relationships, doubling our park space, preserving our civic spaces by extending the useful life of our historic city hall. As mayor, I know that I not only lead our city council, but I also serve and collaborate on our governing boards of our public safety providers. And by doing so, we can maintain our property tax levels well below the county average. Now that's a happy and healthy Holladay. I'm Paul Fotheringham, and I'm running for mayor of Holladay. For the future of Holladay, please like and share this video. Thank you.